welcome back. Yes, as you might have guessed, last month there was in our time last month, there was a difficulty with Kakao services. They were suddenly, abruptly, and without warning cut off, and people were left wondering what was happening and also how to contact many different people for many hours. In fact, a day or two. With text messaging, I think it came back a little bit quicker than other services, but still quite a long time in many people's view. Sometimes some of the services were out for days, and some of these services included things like taxi services, or even worse, a sort of medical service where people were able to find or I should say professionals were able to find spaces open for coronavirus patients through a Kakao service. Unfortunately, that service was cut off, gone, and since Kakao didn't have any redundancy to its systems, it wasn't brought back on for many hours, causing some people to spend multiple hours themselves, up to 20, waiting for hospital beds. Of course, this has raised a lot of concerns with the government about these types of systems and how much control they might have to have over it to make sure that this type of problem doesn't happen again. Other companies who were also affected by this got their systems back up and running quite quickly because they did have redundancy. So I think the government is just maybe pushing something as important as Kakao Talk and Kakao services to have also those same sort of safeguards. But yeah, people trying to hail taxis couldn't do it. Like whatever function that you were trying to do on Kakao, payment, gifts, doesn't matter. It was all gone for 24 hours or more.
Yeah, I think it woke me up to the fact that so many people in Korea are absolutely 100% dependent on Kakao, which might not always be a great thing. I mean, it's always good to have a backup. Accidents do happen, problems occur.
You should say that to Kakao.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's the other side of it. I did think Kakao is such a massive company. I felt like it's so unbelievable that they don't have backup servers to deal with a fire.
Yeah. That is incredible. I do believe the CEO offered or did resign, but I don't know if the CEO resigning is helping the problem at all. Just get redundancies, get backups, be smarter. That's all you have to do, learn and get better. Did it affect you at all?
Not me personally, but I was involved in a slightly interesting incident. I happened to be with a Korean group of musicians at the time, and they were preparing for their show, but they were waiting for their singer, who was coming from Busan from a different show that she had been doing, and they didn't know where she was, and suddenly they couldn't contact her, and she couldn't contact them, and they were like, we don't know if she's still coming, what do we do? And so, some panic ensued as the time of the show got closer and closer. But eventually she did show up right on time, and they did the show fine. But it was panic stations for a good hour beforehand because they just didn't know how to contact her.
Yeah. I was also extremely mildly affected. I was unable to rent the bike I wanted to rent using Kakao Pay.
Oh, no.
I was looking forward to riding along with the girlfriend, a nice, great sort of Olympic Park, stroll, but with a bike, little ride on the bike. Did not happen.
Have you now considered maybe getting them on a second app just in case something were to go wrong with Kakao?
I mean, I think everyone already has a second app. Either it is just the normal text app function.
Well, yeah, you can just text them.
Instagram, like you said, Facebook and stuff. But there are few and far between. But there are people in my contacts that are literally only on Kakao, and I figured if they were, if I considered them important enough to contact at any point, then I would put them on a separate application or something, and that's what I have done. So if Kakao permanently went away, it's not really the lack of contact that would bother me so much. It'd be the lack of service. I really like Kakao Pay. It's very convenient.
Yeah.
And then, of course, logging into different websites with using Kakao.
Yeah. I suppose, I do that a lot. Yeah,
all those websites you have to re-log in, and yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, interesting things to prepare for, just in case. But hopefully Kakao will do better in the future, I'm sure.
We can always hope. And you know what? Right now, we can do better. And how can we do better? We can look at that vocabulary and memorize it and study it and learn it and use it as much as we can. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Up and running.
Up and running.
Cut off.
Cut off.
Redundant.
Redundant.
Untold.
Untold.
Tech savvy.
Tech savvy.